Welcome to Cigar Audit. Matt and Edward here to review the Romeo y Julieta Short Churchill from good old Cuban. So, Mr. Ed, what does your cigar look, smell, feel like?
Appears to be well constructed. Cap looks like it's put off fairly well. So it's firm yet still has a give to it.
Yeah, and they like a lot of the Boulevards, they have an ever so slight press to the top and bottom. And I'd say it's slightly waxy, but it's in between waxy and dry.
Yeah.
It's not dry though. It's not like a sandpaper.
No.
But got a little bit of oil to it. What's your aroma? I'm definitely getting that musty earth, almost a little forest floor.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot more earth, but it's not very strong.
No, it's not. It's
a little subdued.
It's good. It smells good. So let's get these cut up, see what they taste like. Your pre-light draw, Ed. What's it like?
Very open draw.
Mine's just right. Not too open.
Oh, I didn't say it was too open. It was very open. Of course, I have a humongous gash V in mine.
We better not let Jared use that.
Oh, yeah, he'll take his finger off. I'm getting a lot of cedar, I think.
Yeah, I'm getting cedar.
A little floral.
Floral, yep.
Not so much the earth. I mean, the earth is underlined, but it's very much taken over by the cedar and the floral, I think.
For sure. I'm definitely getting the exact same thing. Cedar, floral, very slight earth. So, and my draw is perfect, so it's great. Well, my first impressions after the light of the cigar is definitely a slight floral, but also almost like a slight cherry with wood and earth. Even has a little of that Cuban twang.
Yeah,
that almost gives it.
I was going to say, you can really, for me, that first hit was the Cuban twang, which, for me, a lot of Romeo and Julietas don't have as much of, I don't think, as some of the other brands.
Yeah, I definitely get that, almost giving it a creamy flavor to it, like a slightly sour cream flavor to it, but it's really good. I'd say medium full body.
I can taste the cherry, actually.
Yeah, I mean it's...
And obviously, plenty of smoke.
Yeah, you might not see it on the picture, but we have clouds of smoke in here. But yeah, so far so good. It's I've had half of the box or more than half of the box. I have to admit that they are smoking quite well. And these are from, the box code on this is from December 2016. Let me get the exact box code. So it's SUM, December 2016. But yeah, so far opening's great.
Fair amount of spice, not too overbearing though.
Yeah, I think the finish has got that slight cherry sweetness with that Cuban twang, and then the ever little bit of like black pepper, but it's so subtle, it's hard to pick up. Through the nose you get some white pepper, but again, pretty smooth, very subtle. I like it.
It's sweet on your lips.
It is sweet on my lips. So let's get further down on the cigar, and then we'll let you know how the first third was. Welcome back to Cigar Audit. Matt and Ed here to go over the first third of Romeo y Julieta Short Churchill. Mr. Ed, your first third. Your cigar's looking kind of gnarly there.
I had to do a little touch up.
with the flamethrower. Anyway, tell me about your first third.
The spice on the retrohale, just as soon as you think it mellows out a little bit, gets sweeter, then on the next puff, all of a sudden, boom, there's the pepper again.
Yeah.
I think it's, for me, the first third, it's kind of mellowed out overall a little bit. I'm getting more of the floral, a lighter body.
Especially through the nose.
Yeah, a lighter body than it was right at the first light. So it has changed, and like I said, the spice comes and goes.
Yeah, and I'm definitely getting, I get that floral through the nose. I also get like a sweet cream, right? You know that?
So it went from sour cream to sweet cream.
It's sweeter cream, yes. And it may be some of that floral sweetness that's mixing with that flavor. I would say the earth is a little stronger than it was at the beginning of the light.
No, see, not for me.
See that it's not heavy, but it was so light before that I think that there was more of that cherry, and there is that subtle cherry, but that's more in the finish. I get a little bit of that as an aftertaste. Yeah, it's very well blended, and as you see, the ash is holding very well. My burn's pretty straight. Ed's had a little wonkiness, and took a blowtorch to it, but
That's what you gave me.
sorry. Anyway, it's performing well, and I like the transitions. There's nothing in it that I don't like. And at this point, it's hard to say that there's something I would change about it. Now, these tend to be more floral. They tend to be more, cherry, rose water type of cigar. And this one's a little creamier than the most I've had out of this, which I'm okay with. I like cream. Don't you?
No.
Anyway, so far so good. So we'll get further down in the cigar and we'll let you know how it was. Welcome back to Cigar Audit. Matt and Edward here to go over the second third of Romeo y Julieta, Short Churchill. Okay, Ed, well, if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about your second third, I'm sorry. Your second third.
For me, I think it's gotten more floral in character. A sweet floral, like you mentioned, like a rose water type thing. It's not getting a lot of the cherry, maybe just a slight hint.
I'm getting more of it as I get further down.
You're further down.
Yeah.
You always are further down.
I do. Well, I agree. What about the spice? Is your spice picked up at all? Or
I think so.
Yeah.
Especially on the retro hail, it's picked up a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's like a white pepper bite.
Yeah, it's more of a sharp bite than it was earlier. It was more of a sweet bite.
Yeah, but it gives you, what's interesting about it is it gives you that quick bite, but it also gives you that sweet floral note, which is really good. And then I definitely get that strong tang, even creaminess to it. And I get a little more of that cherry than you're getting right now. But,
well,
performance-wise, it's
at
pretty
my
good.
age, you don't get that much cherry.
Yeah.
Not other than that little touch-up I've had to do. It's performed well since then. And I mean, it wasn't tragic. It was just burning down a little bit and coming through the wrapper a little bit below the. I'm not up on my terminology, but the burn line, I guess you could say.
Yeah. My draw has remained the same, and it's burning quite cool, which is really good. So I can hold it right at the tip, no issues. Just the tip, Ed.
Do you hold it at the tip? No issues?
All the time. Well, that tells me that it's not burning too hot.
Well,
so
you're all tips, so you have no choice but to hold it at the tip.
just call me Nub. But in general, second, third, performing flawlessly. Fantastic flavors, slight shifts, nothing drastic, but very well blended, very complex blend with great flavors. And for the value, you can't beat it. I think these are around $8.50 a stick when you buy a box. So, so far so good. Anything else, sir?
Surprisingly good, because I'm not a real Romeo fan.
I'm telling you, Romeos over the last 2 years have gotten better and better. It's these, the Exhibition number 4s, and most people said the Churchills. I haven't bought a box of those yet, but they say the
The
Churchills
regulars
are
or the wides?
No, the regular Churchills are performing really well. So maybe that'll be the next buy. So we'll see. Baby steps. All right, we'll get further down and we'll let you know how this was at the end. Welcome back to Cigar Audit. Matt and Edward here to go over the last third of the Romeo y Julieta Short Churchill, which is a Robusto size. So Mr. Ed, I'm a little further than you, but your last third, how's it been?
I thought it was a short Churchill size.
It's Robusto. It's 5 by 50. So So your last third, sir.
I think it's gotten more floral. Still, the spice is there. It's still sharp bite, but not as much as it was earlier. But the floralness is really what's coming out now at this end for me.
Yeah, I'd say the floral has steadily built throughout the cigar, and the cherry was pretty strong in the beginning, and then the last third it's come back quite a bit. Got that cherry, and I think and the finish is a little more peppery, I think, at the end than it was. But really good construction. Not much to complain about with this cigar. You say you're surprised. I've smoked a fair amount of them, so I'm not really surprised. But many people will talk about Romeos and say that they're mild cigars. I wouldn't say this is a mild cigar.
No, it's definitely medium, and maybe pushing above medium.
I think to me it's a medium full in flavor. Nicotine, it's mild. I would agree with that. There's not much nicotine to it, but from a flavor perspective, I'd say it's medium full, and you get transitions, but they're mild in their change, but you still get that complexity throughout. So, good stuff. Really like it. So I'm going to start with you. I'm really curious, since you're not really a Romeo fan, so putting the pressure on you now. How would you rate said cigar?
I've been fluctuating between two numbers. Can I put a 0.5?
You can't.
I can't. Why
No,
not?
you can't.
That's
But
illegal?
I mean, you could, or you just go with your gut, whichever one is better.
All right, I'm
That
gonna
makes
have,
sense.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with a 94. I think.
Yeah, I'm 95 on this guy all day. I think the worst one.
Better, of course.
Of course, it's one better.
See, if I was at 93, which was the other number I was fluctuating at.
I still would have said 95.
I know, so that's why I said.
I've had probably at least 10 out of this box, and I would say that the worst one I've had was maybe a 92. The best one I had was probably a 96. I mean, they're just performing really well. They're a little over a year old. And a lot of people say these smoke well young, which I would agree with. So I like them so much I bought another box. So very, very good cigar. If you like that floral with a little sweetness to it and a little bit of fruit sweetness to it, pick them up because you can't go wrong. So let me ask you this: since you're not a Romeo fan, would you pay $8.50 for one of those?
Oh, sure.
I mean, I think when you're looking at this cigar versus others on the market,
I mean, I've smoked a few, like the exhibition number 4s or whatever. What's the Millie 4s?
yeah,
In fact, that's the first box I ever bought because they were cheap, and I wanted to
good.
I wanted to make sure that they got here.
Yeah,
Because that was the first time I ever ordered anything overseas, and so I haven't smoked a lot of Romeos.
Yeah, I remember overseas I bought overseas probably, I'd say, half a dozen Churchills to kind of keep on my person and smoke, and I've always liked those. I think these are even better than the Churchills, I don't know what it is about them, whether the blend's that much different, but the flavors are more pronounced. You still get a lot of that Cuban twang, which a lot of people say you don't get on Romeos, but you definitely do, especially on these. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Check us out on the Social Media Institute Twitter stuff, and don't forget to check us out at CigarAudit.com. Lasting words.
Social Media Institute?
Something like that.
Okay.
We'll see you next time. Peace. So, anything else to add, good sir?
No.
Awesome. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Check us out on the
I can say fuck, so you gotta edit all that out. There.